All right, well, just out spraying today. It's kind of nice and cool outside. Looking forward to the weather change. When the weather changes, what happens is we're getting closer to the time where we can actually start cleaning up the lawns. So this is a pretty big property here. Actually, I do like this lawn a lot. It's pretty much wide open, and it's a new house. The last time I came out, we put granular fertilizer down, and it seemed like it worked somewhat, but it just take a while for it to really kick in. But overall, I don't see any weeds on the lawn. See something against that fence. Hold on one second. Sound like I hear airplane. But yeah, so as you can see, the Bermuda is kind of dry in some areas. I don't know what's going on with my hose. Seems like it's spraying out pretty fast. Getting kind of windy out here, so it could be that. And a lot of particles in here too. But we're coming to the end of another year with the weed control, and I don't really have any nothing to complain about. The things that I do like about weed control fertilization, first and foremost, is that it's a whole lot less strenuous than cutting lawns. You know, than cutting lawns. Whole lot less strenuous. I don't knock anybody who happens to cut grass. But for me, that's one of the things I like about it. It's a whole lot less strenuous. You make a whole lot more money. Another thing, hold on. Camera's going off. Another thing I like about weed control is it's like a science. Science behind it is having to learn the craft. And when you learn the craft, study your craft, you'll see the results on the lawn. So for example, let's just think about it like this. Anybody can, for the most part, grab a lawnmower, right? And start cutting grass. And of course you gotta learn over time. However, at the same time, hold on. However, at the same time, when it comes to the cutting grass, it's almost like you plateau and then you have to start putting other things to the landscaping or to the cutting grass. You know what I'm saying? To suffice for sometimes a lack of work. For example, in the wintertime, you may have to shift over to raking leaves. I think I ran out of gas. Hold on. Like I say, you might have to resort to raking leaves, putting down pine straw and stuff like that. You know, in the wintertime. So that's the second thing I like about weed control. You don't have to do that. You know, you don't have to resort to trying to suffice to keep money coming in. So that leads me to the third thing that I like about weed control is it's year round. It's year round, and well, not only year round, 12 months out of the year, but you know it's on a monthly basis. For some, you can put it on a monthly basis. If you set your program up like that, you can put it on a monthly basis every 30 days. So that's one thing I still like about that I like about spraying. Another thing I like about number four is what I like about spraying is it brings a different type of customer. For example, so majority of people we know, or you know, just being a regular person, everybody knows that you need your grass cut, right? So when it comes to that, everybody's calling you to have the lawn cut, right? But at the same time, it can it can bring in the undesirables. Not to say that, not to say that I'm being picky or nothing like that, or don't want to service everybody's, like I'm looking down on anybody. I'm not doing that. Because like I said, I know people need their lawn cut and stuff like that. But for example, we had a we're cutting grass. We had a thing called quick cuts, right? The quick cuts would be just to go out there and cut the lawn. If your lawnmower broke down and you didn't have the weed eater and stuff like that, you have a weed eater and you have a blower. We just need a quick cut because your lawnmower happened to go down. So in addition to doing quick cuts, what I also notice is you have some of the most terrible lawns, which we would also adjust the price. But not only terrible lawns, people would be more so uh, not necessarily caring about the property. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you're cutting, a lot of times you have to take what you can get, especially starting out. This right here changes the dynamics. You have people who are actually concerned about their lawn, want their lawn to look nice. The majority of people want their lawns to look nice. Uh, Hate looking at weeds on the property. Hate the weeds on their property and you know, they're concerned about the upkeep on the lawn. And that's what you deal with when you get into weed control. So that's the fifth thing I like about it. It's just the customer themselves take pride in the property. As opposed to cutting lawns, you have a lot of people who just really don't care, looking for a quick cut, just to get people off their backs. Don't care about no weeds and none of that. And at the same time, really don't care about you. They look at you as someone that cut the lawn and get your money and get on. But with this, it's completely opposite for the most part. Still have your knuckleheads in everything you do, though. Number five, what I like about this, I love the payout. Payout on this, like I said earlier, number one, less strenuous. But the payout is so much more, you know, so much more, and it's scalable. So for example, when I say scalable, So what happens when you when you get businesses, a lot of time what happens is we're trying to become free period to the point where the business can operate on its own. Well, in the field I previously was in, mowing lawns, that was almost impossible. You couldn't really, first off, hire people to come to work and stay on the job because it's too hot and you can only afford to pay them a set amount per day. Couldn't really offer no benefits, couldn't offer no uh, incentives for them to stay on the job. Because, I mean, think about it. It's hot. And most people don't want to work I'm going to spray walking backwards because the wind is blowing, so I don't want to get it on my pants and in my eyes. So most people don't want to work in the heat. So you have people coming and going, and it's hard to establish something with that. And much more, it's hard to, like I say, offer incentives. So with weed control, you can offer incentives, and it's way more scalable than cutting lawns. I mean, if you're going out to a property, you can make enough money. If you going out to a property, you can make enough money in a day to cover your employees' pay for the whole week. In one day, you can do that. Then the rest of the money that comes in for the rest of the week, then that's profit. That's profit for the business. Then eventually you can hire 3 and 4 guys, 5 and 6 guys, you know what I'm saying, and do the same thing. So that's another thing that I like about the spraying. It's scalable. You can offer incentives for people to come in and work for you, and you can pull away from the job. Number 6, what I like about spraying is that the overhead, that's what I think I can say. The overhead is pretty low. For example, I don't have to fill up a weed eater, backpack blower, a lawnmower along with the vehicle. I don't have to fill that up all the time. All I have to fill up is a tank on the spray tank, fill that up, and good to go. A lot of times for 2 and 3 days or 4 at the most. So that's number 6. Number 7, the opportunity to talk with landscaping guys and give them my business card. And those guys cutting grass, they can actually be they can be promotion for you because you're not in the same field. So they can do promoting for you because you guys will do the same thing. And likewise, you can promote for them because a lot of times the customers are looking for reliable guys who cut grass. So 2 totally different fields, right? So you can kind of watch each other's backs, watch each other back, watch each other, watch each other's back. In other words, look out for each other. Number 8, competition is really low. That's another thing I like about it. The competition is low. Um, there is a barrier that's needed to get into the spraying field, and that is that's the test. You got to take the test in order for you to get into spraying and be legal, or you can come up under someone's license and get going. But like I say, that's like a barrier, and not that have anything against other people coming in, but it's not saturated right now. So therefore, what it does is it's almost like a service that you provide that's not necessarily instinct, but extinct, but necessarily, but possibly, well, I'm sorry, not necessarily instinct. It's just that it's not known like mowing grass is. And the thing about it is, it's known, but it's still a well-kept secret, in other words. Like, for example, the normal guy that cuts lawn, he may look at weed control as, okay, well, that guy's spraying lawns. Well, he don't have as many customers as I have, because people think that this is just something you do every 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, and you don't get a lot of clients. Well, you can get up to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 clients. It depends on how big you want to go. You know, so I like that. I like that there is somewhat of a barrier where you have to know what you're doing in order to get into this field. So that's 8 things I can think of right now. That's pretty much it. I hope this helps people out. I can do a video later and tell you some things that I don't like. And it's not that I don't like them. It's just some drawbacks that that happen to be in the spraying field. And one of the things I can say is the price on the chemicals. They're pretty high. Now, I want you to look at this line right here. So that's the oh, let me take this off. Now, if you look at that lawn over there, my customer was, mentioning to me how the lawn stays green. But if you look at it, you see weeds on the lawn, right? That's the neighbor's lawn. Now, this is the lawn that I'm on spraying. You don't see no weeds on the lawn. No weeds on the lawn at all. I say that because my customer was saying how, their neighbor's yard is green and stuff, right? So we came out and put some fertilizer down, and keep in mind, this is new sod, so it has to kick in. But even though that lawn was green, all of them are pretty much brown now because it ain't getting that much rain, and he even has a dry spot. But still, even though it was green, you can still see the weeds coming up because that's homeowners treatment. That's a DIY. Over here, you can see this is someone professional treating the lawn. You don't see any weeds. So I hope this video has been helpful. I think I came up with 8 things on what it is I like about spraying. The only thing I can think negative or a drawback right now is that it costs money for the chemicals. But with the amount of clients you get, that's nothing. You would make that back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But in order for you to play, you gotta pay. Just keep that in mind. But other than that, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, you know what it is. Boom, underdog.